Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we lost an amazing singer and songwriter named Bobby Caldwell. His hit, What You Won't Do for Love, crossed over so many different genres and barriers. And when I did a little bit of research about his backstory, I found out some very interesting things in regards to the crossover in his music. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So, Bobby Caldwell was most notably known for his very versatile and soulful, sultry voice. He was born in New York in 1951, and this album cover was very controversial in its day, okay? So the record company, TK Records, they were an R&B record company. So they focused on, rhythm and blues, jazz, and Bobby Caldwell, the picture that they wanted to use, they didn't think that it would appeal to a Black audience of what he looked like. So he suggested that they only use his silhouette. And then when he went on tour with Natalie Cole, audiences were surprised to find out that he was in fact white. But by the end, they didn't care because he was such a good singer. And that crossover appeal, he's such a nice guy as well. It just made him even more likable. So the fact that when I heard this song when I was a kid, I never knew he was white until I grew up and became an adult. And his wife, she put on Twitter, she says, and I quote, "Bobby passed away here at home. I held him tight in my arms as he left us. I am forever heartbroken. Thanks to you all for your many prayers over the years. He has been fluxed. It took his health over the last 6 years and 2 months. Rest with God, my love. Mary Caldwell." So that was a beautiful sentiment. And, when his wife was interviewed, she said that Bobby loved the fact that so many people loved his music, that so many rappers would sample his music. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on in the video. But he was just a genuinely really sweet guy. And again, his song had such a strong crossover appeal that race didn't matter at all. And I really love the fact that he appreciated, how beloved he was while he was here. That's so important, right? For artists to get their roses and their flowers while they're still alive. So here he is with Quincy Jones. I just made a video with Quincy, yesterday was his birthday, and he turned 90 years old, which is a blessing. And so here they are, in their elder years, but two musical icons just creating music and enjoying life. And I love to see that. And, I wish that I had been able to see him in concert after putting together this video and seeing, so many wonderful pictures and, just him enjoying himself on stage. I mean, he was a masterful musician, and he wasn't just focused on R&B. So he also did, jazz and blues and just so many different albums and genres. And this quote from him, it really cracks me up. He says, "Somehow they all love this cracker with the blonde hair, and I just don't know what I did." And and it's not about what he did or he didn't do. He was a master of his craft. He was a genuinely nice guy. And obviously, with this quote, it's very humorous and very humble. But again, I'm so glad to hear that he knew how loved he was, and that heartfelt message from his wife shows that as well, that he just really reveled in the fact that he meant so much to Black culture. Because again, when I heard this song, it's so appealing. I saw a video not so long ago with this little girl with her dad. I mean, she was tiny. She had to be like 3 or 4. But, in her accent, she wasn't American. She was from somewhere around the world, but she was saying, you don't know about Bobby, this is my Bobby. And it's like his music touches so many people. And that's what all artists want. I hope that your music will be so versatile that it touches so many people, so many different demographics. It doesn't matter about, age and race and status and socioeconomic stuff. Like what, like no, none of that matters when you hear someone singing from their heart, when you hear someone pouring out their soul and loving what they do. True artists really put all of themselves into their art form, whether that's, music or their, dancing or acting or sculpting or painting, whatever that art is, whatever that God-given talent is. It's such a blessing to be able to witness it. Someone just immersing themselves in what they were made to do, what they were put on this earth to do. And so I really believe that that's what Bobby Caldwell gave all of us. Like he gave us himself, his soul through his voice. And just to be able to witness that made people fall in love with him. And that voice was so sultry and it was just so rich and warm and soulful. I mean, the fact that, he could hold his own against Natalie Cole. I mean, they went on tour together. That speaks volumes of his talent. And the fact on top of that, he was a really kind soul, just a beautiful person. I really am so glad that, he knew that he could touch audiences no matter where he was, and that so many people really enjoyed his music. So rest in peace, Bobby Caldwell. I mean, I'm gonna have to go ahead and break out some of his old, his old songs and his old records and catch up on the things that I haven't heard yet. But one of my favorite tributes was that when DMX actually passed away, or even before, before DMX passed away, there's a video of him singing What You Won't Do for Love. And DMX, again, everyone loved him, just regardless of demographic. I saw him headlining Woodstock 99, and, it was like a mosh pit of young teenage boys, and they loved his music. And so with DMX, he was singing What You Won't Do for Love. And, when he passed away, when DMX passed away, here we have Bobby Caldwell on his Twitter, which is still up, by the way. The tweet is still there. And he says, rest in peace, DMX. And I'm so glad, again, that Bobby saw how much DMX loved his music and how he just touched so many people's lives. And DMX, my heart just broke when he passed away, because he was such a kind, warm, giving, beautiful soul who put his all into his art. And I hope that he knew how much he was loved as well. So rest in peace, Bobby Caldwell. I hope that him and DMX are up in heaven making music together. And again, we have a silhouette because he loved them, and that's what helped him, break into the industry. So I really, really enjoyed making this video and listening to his music today and honoring his life, because he was a legend in his own right. Tell me your story about when you found out that Bobby Caldwell was white, and if you have a favorite song of his that's other than What You Won't Do for Love. Drop down in the comments. I want to hear from you. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Put that notification bell button on so you can know when I make a new video, and go out there and live your life to the fullest like Bobby Caldwell did. Talk with you later. Take care. Bye, Aces.